Bill O'Reilly has returned to tonight's rewrite because last night he actually confirmed something I told you about him in this space last week. First, recall this little O'Reillyism.
If Barack Obama begins taxing me more than 50%, which is very possible, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this.
That was the threat welcomed around the world, that O'Reilly would quit his job if his taxes go up. Now, President Obama advocates raising taxes on Bill O'Reilly, who, of course, is in the top tax bracket, from the current top tax bracket of 35% to the old Clinton top tax bracket of 39.6%. That is the tax rate he is so fearful of now, 39.6%. O'Reilly loses sleep over that one. That's the number O'Reilly said could make him quit his job. In my first run through this absurdity, I pointed out that O'Reilly got very, very, very rich in the 90s when he started his show on Fox News and was paying the top Clinton tax rate that he now lives in fear of. That led me to conclude what O'Reilly would do if his taxes go back up. So O'Reilly has actually already proven what he would do if the top tax bracket goes back up to where it was under President Clinton, 39.6%. O'Reilly would do the O'Reilly factor every night and get richer and richer and richer. Last night, cross-examiner Jon Stewart was able to get O'Reilly to admit that truth.
Here's what I want to ask you. You were on your show the other night, and I watch it frequently. You say if Obama raises your taxes to 50%, which you believe is possible, that you may not do your show anymore.
Right. I might take Colbert's place.
You may, yeah. You know he's faking it.
Somebody has to.
All right. What percentage of that threat is empty?
All of it.
You're not going anywhere.
No.
This whole idea that somehow the tax burden would become so onerous on us that we would just rather not take home $3 million if we can't get that $3.5 million. Do you know what I mean? That's crazy talk, and you know it.
In a part of the interview that appears only on the Daily Show website, Jon Stewart manfully tried to get O'Reilly to admit the utter absurdity of the Republican presidential candidates' positions on taxation.
Every Republican candidate for president, the people that want to be the tent post for that party were offered a choice on the debate stage. $10 of spending cuts for $1 of revenue increase in the form of taxes. Every single one of them said no. Say right now that that is incredibly irresponsible, and you could never support someone that's that, if I may borrow the term, pinheaded.
Okay, look, I'm not going to generalize about anything.
O'Reilly's not going to generalize about anything? The man generalizes about everything in every part of his show every night. And Jon Stewart's not asking him to generalize. You're watching O'Reilly on the ropes now, knowing that Jon Stewart has him cornered, and he's just trying to duck.
Okay, look,
I'm not going to generalize about anything. Herman Cain.
That's not general. That's not general. That's specific.
That's a totally different.
No, I'm telling you specifically what they said. Here's the reality.
Unbelievable.
Here's the reality. The top 1% taking nearly 25% of income today. 25 years ago,
and pay how much of the tax?
But 25 years ago, it was
30% of it.
Top 1% control 40% of the wealth. 25 years ago, it was 33%.
Okay.
Top 1% have had incomes rise 18% over the last decade.
So we should shoot them.
That is what you call losing a debate. I mean, falling flat on your face. We're talking about taxing the top 1% of income earners in this country. O'Reilly cannot defend his position on it, and so he has to pretend that Jon Stewart is advocating that we shoot the top 1% of income earners in this country. O'Reilly is in way over his head with Jon Stewart. He's got absolutely nothing, and he admits he has absolutely nothing. He turns over that card. He gives you the best he has.
So we should shoot them. So we should shoot them. So we should shoot them.
That's it. That's the best he has. Now remember, Jon Stewart did have a huge advantage here. He showed up with facts, and he was debating a guy who thinks this is one of the great unsolved mysteries of the universe.
How did the moon get there? How'd the moon get there? How'd it get there? How'd it get there? How'd it get there? How'd the sun get there? Can you explain that to me? How'd it get here? Come on. Who put it there?
So Jon Stewart ran rings around Bill O'Reilly and then gloriously spiked the ball in the end zone.
So we should shoot them.
I'm not saying we should shoot them, but we shouldn't act like returning to the tax rate of the 90s is class warfare on par with Lenin and Marx. That's what I'm saying. You know what it is? I'm looking out for the folks.